Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. I have spent an absolute fortune this weekend. It's been the Victory in Europe special event, ×5 experience, all sorts of discounts on equipment and consumables and cheap camouflage, cheap crew training, extra crew XP, all sorts of good stuff. I have spent millions of credits on this game over the course of the weekend, and I've been rebuying all sorts of stuff that I had previously sold. I'm going to be playing those again. Machines like the T25/2 and of course the fantastic T32 American Tier 8 heavy tank. There's a new special event happening on the EU server, big and heavy, and this time it's the turn of the Americans. It's part 2, so you're going to be able to buy this thing and that thing and that thing for a 30% discount, and they're going to be earning more credits as well. So if you're thinking of getting your high-tier American heavy tanks, this is the time to do it. I've rebought my T32. Great tank. The only reason I sold it was because I needed the money and I wanted to put the crew into the M103. And I don't regret getting the M103 and sacrificing the T32 for it, but I do regret that I had to sacrifice the T32. But I'm just happy I've got it back. But it's mostly been about the American tank destroyers for me lately. I bought the M36 Jackson a couple of weeks ago, and I've been having some fantastic games in that, which led me on to the T25 AT, which is really, really good, a lot of fun. And then, of course, I've literally only played one game in it, got a fully upgraded T28. So that's nice. However, the news today is that I went and took the plunge and also got myself the T30. So, you can see I've spent millions. I must have blown 7 or 8, 9, 10 million credits over the course of the weekend. But it's all been worth it because I've got some great machines. And today we're looking at this one, the T30. This is the turreted American Tier 9 tank destroyer. And while I did like the T28 Prototype, it's so slow. And I don't know what it's doing sitting in the turreted. I mean, obviously it's sitting there because it's got a turret, but it's such a break in tradition for the American turreted tank destroyers, because you've got the Hellcat at Tier 6, and you've got the T29 at Tier 5, which is like a rapid firing gun, very fast, no armour. Then you get the Hellcat at Tier 6, rapid firing gun, very fast, no armour. You get into the T25/2, guess what? Rapid firing gun, very fast, no armour. And then you get the T28 Prototype. He's just going, what the hell am I doing here? Lots of armour, very, very slow. And, well, it's not a rapid firing gun by any stretch of the imagination. 5.94 rounds per minute. But it's one of the faster firing, if you like, big guns on the Tier 8 tank destroyers. And it's very, very good DPM, very good damage per minute. But it just feels that this machine got into this line of tank destroyers by accident. The only thing it shares in common with any of the others is it's got a turret. Other than that, it's just the polar opposite of them all. But then you upgrade from that to the T30, and while the T30 is not as fast as any of the others by any stretch of the imagination, it's significant. It's more than twice as fast as the T28 Prototype. So this really does come as a very welcome relief. And of course, it's got the turret and it's got the big guns. So one of the first things that you're going to notice when you go from Tier 8 to Tier 9 in any of the tank destroyer lines is you immediately start getting a lot more health. All of the Tier 8s are pretty weak when it comes to taking a beating. The T28 Prototype only had 1150 hit points. The ISU 152 only has 1010 hit points. The AMX 48 only has 1000 hit points. The Germans had more, but still the Ferdinand, it's not much more, it's only 1200. The British are the exception to the rule. I don't have the Tier 8 British tank destroyer anymore. I never had it. I'm up as far as Tier 6 with the 88, but the 88, 800, we'll have a look at the tech tree and the British TDs. These things get a lot of health. Where are we? There we go, the 88. The 87, the next one up at Tier 7. got more hit points at tier 7 than any of the tier 8 tank destroyers of other nations. So that's kind of the British thing. But here with the Americans, well, with all of them, when you go up to tier 9, you get a lot more health. 1,650 hit points. So you can take more of a beating if you have to. Obviously you don't want to, but if you don't have a choice, you're going to be glad of 50% more health than you were used to rocking at tier 8. And that's the same across the board with all of the tank destroyers. So that's good, but nothing special about the Americans. It weighs 64.36 tons, and this is not fully upgraded. I do not have the big gun. I haven't unlocked that yet. I just have the 120mm. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. 860 horsepower engine. This is very welcome. You look at the T28 Prototype, it only had a 510 horsepower engine and it weighed 66, nearly 67 tons. Well, my T30 weighs 64 tons and has got an 860 horsepower engine. So it's a lot more powerful and a lot more mobile than the T28 Prototype could ever hope to be. It will do up to 35 kph. That's more than double the 18km top speed of the T28 Prototype. It also turns slightly faster with the upgraded tracks. It's still not good, it's only 22 degrees per second, but it's 2 degrees per second better than the T28 Prototype. Now, this is where you start thinking, here's the bad news. Hull armour is not great. 102mm at the front, 76 at the side, 51 at the rear. However, look at the sloping. That is actually pretty good. That's a 45-degree slope right there. So the effective armour thickness is way better than the numbers on paper would have you believe. Also, the lower glacis is a pretty small target. And because the side armour is 50% better than the 50mm that the T28 Prototype had, you can angle the frontal armour more than you could get away with on the T28 Prototype. Because if you try to angle the armour of the T28 Prototype by more than that, they'll just shoot you in the side. And it's bad news. Well, you can do better than that with the T30 because it's got 50% more side armour. It's still bad side armour, but we're not talking about exposing the whole of your side to gunfire. We're talking about just being able to angle your tank a little bit more to improve the effective thickness of that frontal armour. But when we're talking about the frontal armour of the T30, we're not really talking about the hull armour. We're talking about the turret because it's 279mm thick. And it's got a very, very good gun mantlet. If you can get this thing hull down, you are untouchable. Just about the only way they're going to damage you from the front, if you can cover up your hull in this thing, is you might get your gun damaged. They might start lobbing high explosive at you and doing, like 100 damage per time. Or if they're really lucky or a really good shot, they might hit that commander's hatch. But it's not an easy target to hit. Because it's look at that. It's not a big target. You need to be pretty bloody accurate to hit it at any kind of range. And if you don't hit it square on, it's rounded. And if you're shooting from here and it goes ding, yeah, you'll probably penetrate. If you're shooting from here and it goes, whoop, it's going to bounce. Yeah, it's just going to bounce. Very, very difficult target to hit. So hull down and in an artillery safe position, this thing is a beast. View range, 380 meters, signal range 745 meters. Good in both categories, but it's tier 9. You expect that at this sort of level. Turret traverse, slow. It's practically hand cranked, but it's massive, heavily armored turret. And the side armor of the turret, by the way, is not bad either. 127 and 102 at the rear. So the turret of this thing is just a beast. Now, the gun. I mentioned that I do not have the 155mm gun unlocked, and that doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me, because I actually think I might prefer using the tier 8 tank destroyer gun, the 120mm, over the 155mm. They're both tier 10 guns, and the performance of both is well, it's pretty similar. Basically what you have with the 155mm gun is it's a sort of a poor man's version of the BL-10. It's all about the penetration and the alpha damage. The accuracy is pretty bad. The aiming time is pretty bad. The rate of fire is horribly slow. but it's 276mm of penetration, which isn't as good as the BL10 that the Russians get at tier 8, I hasten to add, and the same alpha damage, 750. Now, here at tier 9, the BL10 that you get on the Object 704 is even better than the BL10 that you get on the ISU 152 at tier 8. And it's just a better gun than you get on the T30. So it's, you know, it's nothing special. This gun ain't anything special on the T30, especially considering that the T95 gets an even better version of the same gun as well. So there's that. And the gun I'm using, because I haven't unlocked the 155 yet, but also because I just like this gun, is this one, the 120mm AT T53, which is the same in every respect to the gun that you get on the T28 Prototype, except it has a slightly faster rate of fire on the T30. So what you're looking at is almost double the rate of fire of the 155mm gun. Less penetration, but 248 is not bad. Less damage, obviously, that's the big draw of the 155mm gun. It's 750 average damage, but it's nothing special at tier 9. Nothing special at all. And the BL10 does that. The T95's gun, again, you know, can also do that. But 400 damage is not bad. Not bad at all. Same accuracy, much faster aiming time, 2.3 seconds versus 2.9 seconds. So basically what you've got is, your choice is, do you want to go for alpha derp damage with the 155, or do you want to go with sustained DPM with the 120mm? And I kind of like the 120mm, because what I've tended to find in the games that I've played, and I've only played 5 games in this thing so far, I haven't had it for very long at all, just a couple of days, is that people see you're in a T30 and they shit themselves. They think, oh my god, it's a T30, and because they expect you to be firing the 155mm gun, and they don't really know what gun you're shooting at them until it's too late and you've hit them. But, and here's the funny thing, you smack them upside the head with this gun and they go, whoa, crap, I've been hit by a T30. And I don't know whether it's because they're not paying attention to how much damage you've done, or they're not running a damage panel mod, or whatever. But you can see them thinking, alright, I've just been shot by a T30, his gun's going to take anything from 13 to 15 seconds to reload. So they come out again. And you shoot them again. Because this thing's got double the rate of fire of the 155mm gun. And so it doesn't matter that you're not using the big gun, because you've just done 800 damage to them by shooting them twice. And they back into cover again, because they are, I've been hit twice. And you end up just not getting shot at. Unless you come across, you know, somebody who's good, and they recognise immediately that they, you know, what gun you're using. But I have had some really good success with this thing. In fact, I'll show you the stats that I have. So there's my service record in the T30. Now the first thing you're going to notice is that it doesn't look the same as your service record. I've finally gotten my finger out my arse, gone ahead and installed XVM. So you're not going to see the same sort of stats. They'll look broadly similar, but you're not going to have these sorting buttons and stuff at the top that I do, so don't worry too much about that. This is just something that XVM does for you. But there's my T30. I've only played 5 games, but I've got a 100% win rate, and I've got the second class mastery badge. Now, I've been playing those games with Quickie Baby and Circumflexus on their live streams, so I've had good platoons, so don't worry too much about the 100% win rate. Again, it's only 5 games, anything can happen in 5 games. I've survived 4 of the 5 games. In those 5 games, I've gotten 8 kills. Half of those kills I got in 1 game. 66% hit ratio. Again, only 0.39 accuracy. It's not good. But look at the damage. And this is without the big gun on the T30. That's 13,000 damage done in 5 games. An average of 2,666 damage per battle, which is not spectacular. But it's better than most people do. And I'm not being, you know, no false modesty here. 2,666 damage per game is pretty good. It's not fantastic, but it's better than most people see in a good game. You know, it's just performing very, very, very well. Average experience per battle over 1,000. That's a good machine, or that's some good games that I've had in a good machine. You can't get that performance even in a good game with a bad machine. It just doesn't happen. And I did not expect to like this tank destroyer, and I'm very, very pleasantly surprised with the way it's played. So, moving quickly onto equipment. What I have done is fitted improved ventilations, improved vents, ventilation class 3. Again, 5% of all your crew skills is never bad. It improves all sorts of things. The traverse speed helps the driver turn it faster, helps the driver accelerate faster over rough terrain. It helps the loaders load it faster. It helps the gunner aim it faster. It's just all good stuff. Gun rammer, obviously, goes without saying. If you can fit a gun rammer to a machine, and just about the only machines that cannot fit gun rammers are the ones with autoloader guns, then you put a gun rammer on the machine. The third choice, I've gone with coated optics, because it's a tank destroyer. 380 meter view range is pretty good, but seeing them before they can see you and being able to aim and shoot first is good stuff. And I've gone with coated optics rather than, where is it? Binocular telescope, purely because coated optics are working all the time, even when you're moving. And I do tend to play this thing, I'm not going to say aggressively, but I tend to use the fact that it can actually move by moving it and relocating and getting to the... It's just such a relief after driving the T28 Prototype that you're finding a machine that can relocate reasonably quickly between engagements. And in order to not be surprised while I'm relocating, I've gone with coated optics. Anything else? Well, camo net? Yeah, no, it's huge. It doesn't have a very good camo rating in the first place. Enhanced gun lane drive? No, 2.3 second aiming time is pretty good. It doesn't really need an enhanced gun lane drive. It can't fit a vertical stabilizer. A vertical stabilizer would be great, but it can't fit one. So that's what I've gone for. Vents, optics, gun rammer. Crew skills? Generally speaking, when I'm looking at a tank destroyer, I always tell people just get camouflage for your first skill. But I haven't done it in this case because it's such a massive target. It's like driving something with a camera rating of a Jagdtiger. It just doesn't. It's not a stealthy machine, and because it's not a stealthy machine, not like the Object 704, and because this thing is such a priority target for artillery, I've gone with repairs, because you're going to spend a lot of time getting your tracks blown off in this thing. So repairs. Everybody except the driver, who I've gone for clutch braking just to assist with that 22-degree traverse speed. So there's the machine. Let's have a look at some of the games. So this isn't the first game that I played in the T30. It's actually the second one. My first game was a disaster. I only managed to do 726 damage, didn't kill anything, and got obliterated by Tier 8 artillery. So it was pretty bad. This is the second game that I played. I debuted this machine on Quickie Baby's live stream, and I'm playing with Quickie Baby and Ike, so I've got a very strong platoon. And that's probably got more to do with my 100% win rate in this machine than the fact that I'm really, really good at driving this machine. I must admit, I'm driving with a really good platoon here. So here we are on Siegfried Line. And straight away, the mobility of this thing is such a blessing after driving the T28 Prototype. This thing is not slow. And there's a spot I'm heading for over here that is usually Quickie Baby's favourite spot when he's in most machines, actually, come to think of it. There's only one artillery in this game though, one GW Panther, so I'm not too worried about artillery. And I want to get this thing hull down and use this legendary frontal turret armour. So can you see the spot I'm going for? Oh, by the way, because this is the first time you guys will have seen me using it, this is the XVM map. That circle is my view range. Enemy vehicles spotted. Last known locations of enemy vehicles that are no longer being detected. So this is all useful stuff. Somebody just took a shot over there. I'm not sure if it was at me or not, but let's have a look. And this is a great spot for a T30. Now, I didn't have this XVM map mod installed at the time I was playing the game. Obviously, you're only seeing it here in the replay, so you're going to see information appear on the map that I was not aware of at the time. Oh, there we go, T44. And an IS over there. Really? Well, okay. Oh yeah. Why is he just sitting there? Oh, he's aiming. Okay. Oh, there's that .39 accuracy. It's a good gun, but it's not a great gun. And you've got to get used to missing, unfortunately. This is at 543 metres range. Well, that one didn't miss, and that was right on the average damage. But 540 metres, .39 accuracy, expect to miss. Yeah, that one went wide. Oh, but I got him anyway. He must have just moved forward. So there's my first kill. We've already done 1,000 damage. Now, back to that T44. And aim, and it went low. It wasn't a very well aimed shot in the first place. So that was my fault. You can see trees falling over there. It's like the T-44 is pushing trees over to create cover for himself. Oh, tiger. Oh, yeah, come on. Here's 520 metres away. He's manoeuvring. I'll take a shot, hoping to hit him, but no. And I shouldn't really have taken that shot, because now it's as if he knows exactly where I am. 525, come on, and it misses. But again, 525 metres, .39 accuracy. However, look at the map. Now, I'm fixating on this tiger here. T-44's coming up. We've got an IS-3 right next to me who's in serious trouble, but I can't really move. And again, that was a horrible shot. I mean, it was aimed right at him, but the shot just went low. So this IS is in trouble, and I've got an IS-8 right next to me in the town. Finish off the tiger. I've got to take care of these guys. I can't give them shots into my flank and my rear while going up to help deal with this IS-8. This IS-8 who is sitting right there. And he's coming around. Now the IS-8 doesn't have great gun depression, so I can use this to my advantage. I figure I'm leaving the T-44 with the IS. He fires. Where does he hit me? Hits me in the turret. Right in the gun mantlet. IS-8 is never going to penetrate my gun mantlet. Oh, and this is what I was worried about. Problem solved. 2,169 damage done out of 7 hits so far. And my third kill. Now I can go up after this IS-8. Now, the thing about the IS-8 is it's fast. It's got the mobility of a medium tank, and I'm going on and on about how refreshingly mobile the T30 was. Well, it's never going to catch an IS-8. But I figure I can at least get a shot into him, maybe knock his engine out. And I'm actually chasing an IS-8 with a T30, but this guy knows what he's doing. Now we're winning quite comfortably. We're winning 11-9, so I want to keep this guy. Come on, don't miss. Ah, it missed. So myself and this IS are giving chase to this IS-8. If he's going to be dumb enough to try and cap, and Quickie Baby and Ike are telling me, yeah, well, not so much Quickie Baby, he's dead, but Ike is telling me that, you know, yeah, don't worry about it, we got this in the town. Chase that IS-8 down. Is he going to cap? He's not capping. He's just trying to evade us. So you can see from the XVM map mod his last known position. But I don't want to get suckered and blindsided into chasing this guy that we're never going to catch. I just want to spot him and try to shoot him as he escapes. But he's just too fast for us. So, okay. Is he hiding in the bushes? No, he's not hiding in the bushes. Now, this is not looking good. We need to pull back here and help the guys in the town. Ike's in serious trouble there. In his M103. We've got a Carnarvon who's on full health, and he's coming back, but Ike's having to leg it because he's only... Oh, actually, no, Ike's on full health as well. That's pretty good. Oh, here comes T71. Look at... Ah. And I missed. What a donkey shot. The IS finishes him off. Didn't expect to see the T71 coming. We're going to have to get back in the town. We're actually in a pretty strong position. I mean, we're 2 kills up. There you go. The ST1. Oh, there's the IS-8. There he is. Right. So now we know where all of the enemy tanks are. .39 accuracy just keeps letting you down, but I need to get in there because Ike is about to come under some serious pressure. They're about to go 2-on-1 against him. Oh, and he's taking a big hit there. So me and the IS go charging in. Let's not block each other. Give each other space to get around. Ike kills the ST1. I'm going to finish off this IS-8. Come on, give me a good damage roll. Got him. 454 is a decent roll for this gun. And that's it. 2,623 damage done from 8 hits. And this was the money shot moment for me when I thought, I like this machine. Well, here we are again, and this time, that behind me is Quickie Baby in his T95. We're also platooned with Ike. This is from one of Quickie Baby's live streams. Ike's in his M46 pattern. So it's Tier 9 machines, but it's the battle of the Tier 9 American tank destroyers. Who's going to get the most kills and do the most damage, me or Quickie Baby? Well, we'll have to see. I'm not entirely sure which gun Quickie Baby's got on his T95. I don't know if it's fully upgraded. It looks exactly like the same gun I'm using. It could be the 155mm, I don't know. But let's see who does best in this game. Now I'm hoping that Jagdpanther is not... There's a spot here on Runeberg. It's really, really good for hold down tank destroyers. It's better for me than it is for the Jagdpanther. I mean, it's a good spot for the Jagdpanther too, but he can still quite easily get killed in that position. His sloped armour at the front is nowhere near as good as my frontal turret armour, and he is letting me go for this spot, so that's good. And I'll show you what I mean. That's what I'm talking about, right there. Hello, Mr. SU-152. Yeah, you like that, don't you, bitch? Bit of a low damage roll there, only 370. But this is a great spot. Oh, don't die there. Don't. You're just providing cover for the Jagd Tiger. Come on, I should be able... Okay. Well, you know, random teams, what can you do? So I've got to reposition, and luckily I can still... And here we go. This is exactly what I'm talking about. He sees a T30, he shits himself. I shoot him once, he backs off. He's not looking at how much damage I actually did to him, and he's thinking to himself, oh, hold on, it's a T30. He's got a really long reload. I can shoot him now. Yeah. Hit you once, hit you twice. Back off. Pop out. Hit you 3 times. Now he hit me for 611 damage. And where he actually hit me, do you see it there? That, and I didn't realise until this Jagd Tiger started penetrating me there, that is another actual turret front weak spot. But, and this is quite unlucky, it's not much of a weak spot. You've got to be very accurate or very lucky to hit. Oh, do love inflicting engine fires on people. But the one machine in the game at this kind of level that is ideally suited to be shooting and penetrating me there is the Jagd Tiger, because it's so accurate. But he did 611 damage to me. I did substantially more than that to him. Now there's more than just that IS. Jagd Tiger. Oh, I can't believe this. That one bounced. You see where it bounced just under his gun? Ricocheted down into his upper glacis? Oh, I don't know what the hell hit me there. I took 2 hits there. One of them was the IS. I don't know which one of them penetrated. But somebody just went through there for 369 damage. It could have been an HE hit. But that was a definite hit from the IS. And if you look at where he penetrated, there's another bounce. Right there. See it? Machine gun port out the front. Unlucky. Well, I'm down to 270 health now. I've taken 3 big hits. And I'm really not interested in dying. And so far, me and Quickie Baby are both on 0 kills. And this was pretty bad of me. See, you see where that bush is over there, just to the left? There's another good one into the IS. Somebody is using the advantage of that bush, and he's way behind it, so I cannot see him when he fires. He's not putting very effective fire into me, but the fact remains that somebody only needs to get lucky at this stage, because I only have 270 health left. I'm down to 17%. Fired blind, just in case there's a crater that you can actually hold down in, And he may just be out of my view range, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just taking a chance. And with the rate of fire of this 120mm gun, why not? Okay, look at that. Suddenly Quickie Baby's on 3 kills. I've got some catching up to do here. Now, this is bad of me. I'm not paying attention to the map. Good damage roll on the E75. And I'm not watching this Tiger 2 and IS-8 coming around. Scores are fairly even. We're losing, but only just. But the enemy team, while they still have one more tank alive than us, their tanks are pretty badly beaten up. Quickie Baby's just got himself another kill. I've done 3,200 damage. I haven't killed anything yet. Come on. We've got the honour of the T30 to play for here. But this is the sort of situation, at this sort of stage of the game, if you can just stay alive this long, it's where you can really start to clean up. Because the T95 is just too slow to get around. Whereas the T30 isn't. And again, not paying attention to the map, that Tiger 2 and IS-8 last spotted rolling into our base, and I'm not doing anything about it. Good damage roll there on the Lurver. 3,600 damage done so far in this game. Good start. Missed the E75, but yeah, he misses me too. Looks like he's just fired. And people always underestimate the rate of fire of the T30 with a 120mm gun. Oh, I can get that IS-3. The E75 is just fired, so I can afford to take the shot. Bang, got you. There we go. Pulled 1 kill back, and now I'm looking at the map and thinking, oh shit. Alright. Looks like I'm going to have to leave that kill to Ike or Quickie Baby. Somebody needs to go back. We're being capped. And I'm in one of the best positions to do it. Jagdpanther, IS-8. We know there's a Tiger 2 down there as well. There they are. Spotted them all. Okay. Now, Quickie Baby's making it look bad. 4 kills. No. Oh, hello Mr. Tiger 2. Yeah, you like that. And you bounced. He must be cursing. T30 on 17%. He gets a shot and it bounces. The armour on this thing isn't bad at all. It really, really isn't. Even the hull armour, angled correctly, can, will and does bounce shots. Ike kills the Tiger 2, so there's his first kill. I'm trying to figure out which way this IS-8's going. Is he coming around? Or is he just hanging around behind that ruin? And it turns out, yep, he's hanging around behind that ruin. So we've got an IS-8 circling around behind him, an M103, he's looking for shots through the window. I can get some damage in here. Which way is this guy's gun pointing? Oh, the wrong way. Another good damage roll, 463. Probably not going to get the kill. Their artillery's active, however. He's just killed our M103. This IS, he's coming for me. He... Where does he... He shoots me in the gun mantlet. Takes my gun. Alright, repair the gun. IS-8 comes around behind and finishes. And cheeky Lorraine tries to finish me off. And I've done 5,119 damage in this game. Only got the 1 kill. But you can't argue with that kind of damage output. Now it's just a question of who's going to find and kill the Lorraine 155. And Quickie Baby's given up. as well you should. You're never gonna beat an M46, an IS-8, or even a T30. And we're pretty sure the Lorraine's up here somewhere. Now, I could get this kill. Ike could get the kill. Obviously, he's driving an M46 Patton, but he's low on health. And you know how sneaky artillery are. So Ike's waiting on the corner until I can shoot down the road here, in case he spots him It's never a good idea to go chasing after artillery on your own. Luckily, there's nowhere on this map for artillery to suicide. There's no rivers or lakes or seas they can throw themselves into, so he's going to have to stand and fight if we find him. Not hiding around the corner. Mike's having a look around the bushes. But you know what artillery are like when they're in hiding. He'll have his cloaking device activated. We won't see him until he fires. So I would just much rather that when he does fire, it's at Ike and not me. Oh! Oh yeah, come on. Another 330 damage, please. Bingo. So there you go. 5,500 damage done. 2 kills. I love this machine. I really, really do love this machine. Well, here's a game I played on Ensk. Again, with Quickie Baby and Ike. Quickie Baby's in his AMX-50 Foch. I really want that machine. I'm still a fair old away from getting it, though. Ike, again, in his beloved M46 pattern. Me in the T30 with a 120mm gun. And we're just going to go for it here. We just decided, right, man mode, get your man pants on, let's do it. So that's pretty much exactly what we do. Of course, they're both a lot faster than I am, but, you know, I'll chase after them and kill what I can. It's important that you get down here as fast as you can to get safe from artillery. Oh, this could be good. This could be very good indeed. Unfortunately, the thing about the T30 is that it is very, very wide, and that you can get through here, but there's not much space. T54. Hull or ammo rack? Let's go for his ammo rack. So, good damage roll there, 480. Oh, Lorraine. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and another good damage roll, 449. And that Lorraine is in the wrong place, and he's staying in the wrong place. Pointing his gun at me now. And he missed. And I didn't. And I'll take a hit from Lorraine. No problem. 212. Because I will finish you with my next shot. So there's my first kill. 1,600 damage done already. And this is turning into a rout. Oh. Well, okay, this is trouble. The armour on that thing. British Tier 9 tank destroyer, the Tortoise. The armour on that thing is ridiculous. But we've got him surrounded. We're going to need to keep moving here. Look at this. Side shot. Just bounced off. From just about every angle you have to aim for weak spots here, which is what I'm doing. I'm going to take a hit, but my tracks ate it, and I got the kill. 2,000 damage done. Well, 1,906 to be precise. Now there's an IS-8 down there. Quickie Baby's taking a savage battering. So he was waiting in safety around the corner of the house. And there you go, 2,300 damage done. And we can still see the back end of this IS-8, so I'm going to try and keep him tracked. Yep, did it. He's not going anywhere in a hurry. That gives everybody else the time to move up. Deal with artillery. Stayed safe from the IS-8's gun. Fair play to the IS-8. He saw the problem and he's come back. And we are literally surrounded by IS-8s and T-34s. But we're just killing them all. Spotted that T-34 up there. Take the risk, come out, take a shot. It goes wide. It hits the newspaper kiosk in front of him. Ah, damn it. But look at this. All they have left are the T-34s. What a rout. This was a real smash and grab. And the T-34 driver is not quite dumb enough to drive around a corner sideways on in front of the T-30, but it doesn't matter which way he goes. He's doomed. So that was alright, and that's 2 kills each, and 2,300 damage done. And we really had to fight for the kills in that game. The enemy team was so hopeless. So, the T30, American Tier 9 tank destroyer, one of the two American Tier 9 tank destroyers. There are obviously two American tank destroyer lines, the other being the T95. Difference between the two, primarily being the T30 has the turret. This has been a very, very pleasant surprise. And I don't know if it's because I've been driving the T34, American Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank. That maybe that has prepared me for how to drive this thing, because this thing is very, very similar to driving a T34 with the 120mm gun. Completely different kettle of fish with the 155mm gun. So it's kind of disingenuous of me to be reviewing this thing without that gun, because it's going to completely change the way you play it. But I'll be as soon as I get that gun unlocked, I'll definitely fit it and have a go and see how this thing plays. But in the meantime, I have been very, very, very pleasantly surprised with this machine with the 120mm gun. The DPM is pretty damn good. Manages to pump out 2,474 damage per minute. It's certainly not the best. The DPM of the Jagdtiger is just off the bloody charts. I mean, you compare it to the Jagdtiger. Look at that. 2,947, almost 3,000 DPM. But I don't know what it is. There's just something about this machine. It's consistently performing well. And that gun mantlet and that frontal turret armour, on those occasions where you can get this thing hull down, this thing absolutely owns. And regardless of which, well, not regardless of which gun, you don't want to be using that 105mm. That's just awful. That's got no business being on a Tier 9 machine of any description. But either of the two Tier 10 guns, the 155 or the 120mm, are going to work really, really, really well. One final thing that I wanted to say, because I completely forgot to say this in the garage discussion before the battles, was this gun you can fit on the stock suspension. The only price you'll have to pay, you can have the top radio, the top engine, the 120mm gun, the stock suspension, but you can only fit one equipment module, because the stock suspension has a load limit of 64.05 tons. And you can see that with these modules fitted, it weighs 64.36 tons. So unless you have the top suspension, you can fit everything onto it that you want to, but you cannot fit it with equipment modules, unless one of the equipment modules that you fit is enhanced torsion bars. So there you go. But in summary, yeah, I like the T30. Did not expect to. Very pleasantly surprised with how it plays. If you're going down the American turreted tank destroyer line, this is certainly no disappointment. What happens after this, of course, is the T110E4. And I know I'm not saying this is a bad machine. When I previewed this on the 7.5 test server, I absolutely hated it, but I was just bad at driving it. This thing does very well. I know Quickie Baby loves the thing. And I will be getting it sooner or later. I'm not looking forward to it, though, because I hated it so much on the test server. However, I wasn't looking forward to getting this, and this thing really surprised me. So we shall see. As always, folks, take care on that battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.